Dr. Shelley Ann Pennycook, and I'm a board-certified emergency physician. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Because breast cancer affects 1 in 8 women, I'm here to provide you with some basic information about the disease, how to identify your risks, and how to know when to obtain a breast screening mammogram. Breast cancer kills more women in the United States than any other cancer except for lung cancer. It is unclear at times why women get breast cancer, but there are a number of risk factors that you must be aware of. There are some risks that you cannot change. Age. As you become older, your chances of getting breast cancer becomes greater. Genes. There are 2 genes that cause breast cancer. BRCA1, known as BRCA1, and BRCA2, which is called BRCA2. Having these genes greatly increase your risk of having breast cancer. So if women in your family have had ovarian cancer or breast cancer, it may be a great idea for you to be tested for these genes. Having dense breasts. There are personal factors such as beginning your menstrual cycle before age 12 or going through menopause after age 55 that also increases your risk of getting breast cancer. Other risk factors that you may be able to control include being overweight, using hormone replacement therapy, taking birth control pills, drinking alcohol, or not having children or having your first child over the age of 35. It is important to know that men can have breast cancer too, but the number of cases are small.
Hi, my name is Claudia, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
The day that I found out that I had breast cancer was a little bit after my 40th birthday. I was actually at work, and I already had gone through the biopsy, obviously, and my doctor called me and literally just told me your test came back positive for breast cancer, and that they needed me to just come in the office and go for some treatment. They needed to just put a treatment in place. At that moment, I just felt like the world just stopped. I felt like my whole life just kind of crumbled. It might sound a little crazy and dramatic maybe, but that's how I felt. And I kept thinking, why me? Why me? And in my mind, I totally thought that the test was going to come back negative. So it was just a crazy day. I remember running to the bathroom and just, I kind of like fell on the floor in the bathroom and just started crying and asking God why. And then my coworkers, I remember, this is taking me back, my coworkers came and picked me up and helped me get up and started talking to me and telling me, this is something that you're gonna get through. Many women go through this, and but at that moment I wasn't hearing it, I wasn't listening. It was just a sad and I just felt so much like despair, and just the thought of me sharing that now with my family was just like heartbreaking.
Symptoms of breast cancer may include a lump in the breast, a change in the size or shape of the breast, or discharge from the nipple. Breast self-exams and mammography, which is an X-ray of the breast, can help to detect breast cancer early when it is most treatable. Treatment of breast cancer include radiation therapy, lumpectomy, which is removal of the breast mass or lump, mastectomy, which is removing the breast entirely, chemotherapy, and hormone therapy.
So I met with my oncologist, and the treatment that was discussed was to start off with a lumpectomy. The lumpectomy was, as far as I remember, it was a little bit painful, but within a day or two, I felt better. Then we took another lumpectomy because the cells were still showing. They couldn't get the whole mass, I guess, out, and cells were spread all over my left side of my breast. And a second lumpectomy came along. This tumor that I had, I believe was called MGA, and what they kept telling me was that it was a very aggressive tumor. So if it was left untouched or not, extracted, it will definitely turn into something really bad. So that was the reason why they had to start doing that, and it was still considered a low stage, but it was aggressive. So it was like, okay, like I was so confused and I didn't have a lot of knowledge, and it was very scary just hearing all these terms and things, and then you have to start kind of getting all the medical terms, in check and learning them. So after the second lumpectomy, they checked me again, the same. My breast was actually starting to look deformed because of the 2 lumpectomies that they did. It wasn't looking right, and my oncologist was just like, Claudia, you're gonna have to get a mastectomy, and that's essentially just taking all the tissue and everything of the breast, just taking everything out. It was very scary when I first heard it. I also just kept thinking, maybe I should go to someone else, try to find out if this is really what is happening. I'm going to lose my breast now, and as a woman, that's what, is part of your anatomy, is part of you, is what, you feel sexy, what, makes you feel, attractive. And it was just very, very traumatic just to think about that. And, after that, then I was like, okay, a mastectomy. I went for a second opinion with a surgeon up in New Jersey, and she was like, yes, you need to have it done. It's an aggressive tumor. So everything checked out the same. So I feel like, okay, I'm going to have to go through this. It was a very hard decision. It was, very scary. It was very nerve-wracking. I had no idea what I was putting myself against. So on the day of the surgery, it was just a nerve-wracking day. I remember very early in the morning, these doctors have you go there at 5 a.m. But I remember just waking up, and obviously they removed everything, and they put these things called expanders in your chest. So after they remove everything, they put these things, and they basically have you go for a certain amount of appointments, and they start expanding your chest all over again. That was crazy, because I remember standing up. They make you stand up a couple of day or two after, and I remember standing up, and I felt like my chest got ripped, and somebody grabbed it and like pulled it down because the expanders kind of pulled down from gravity, I guess. It was just a crazy feeling, a painful feeling. It was pain that I never ever endured in my life. But by the grace of God, I'm still here. And after that, it was just days of healing. The people surrounding you, people calling, people texting, encouraging you. I was in a lot of pain for many days, but at the same time, that pain also, you get through it. And mostly the people that are around, my church, everyone that I had around me were just so essential in the healing. As far as my support system, I can say that was probably the most essential part of my healing process. I think a lot of people in general, or women, try to go through stuff on their own. Many people want to keep things to themselves, not share. We don't need someone to know that I'm going through this. But I feel that the support system that I had was the key for me to heal the way that I did. The families that came here, the extended family, my friends. My friends were totally there for me. The encouraging words, the text messages, the phone calls, just letting you know I'm praying for you, I'm here for you. They even did I remember they did this little event for me where it was, celebrating life. And I just thinking about that day makes me want to cry, because they brought people that have been so essential in my life. People from years ago. I don't even know how they got their information, but I had all these women that have been key in my life, and they were there just supporting me, cheering me on. At that moment, I was still going through my expanders and going through that process. So that was absolutely amazing, being with my friends and the people that I knew from years ago. My church family was also, a huge part of my healing. The prayers, the constant prayers, visits by my pastor, by his wife, and just every time I will come across anyone from my church, it was always so encouraging. And last but not least, my family, my kids, my husband. With my husband, he probably wasn't on the top of the list, because I remember this one day that I was just fresh out of my surgery, and I was still in my wrappings, and I don't know, I'm trying to remember the word, but I had my dressing on, and I couldn't see myself in the mirror. My husband was so essential, and I remember him being like, okay, stop. If you cannot look like yourself in the mirror, we need to make sure you're looking right. You want to make sure that you're healing right, so I'll do it. And that was a test for both of us, because when you take your vows, it's either in sickness or in health. And I'm like, I guess this is the part that is in sickness, you're going to be there.
The American Cancer Society recommends that women ages 40 to 44 should have the choice to start annual breast cancer screenings, again, between the age of 40 and 44. It is highly recommended, however, that women ages 45 and older obtain an annual breast cancer screening mammogram. It is important that all women are familiar with the limitations of breast cancer screening, as well as the benefits of breast cancer screening. So speak with your doctor. Some hospitals will offer breast cancer screening mammograms without a prescription. You simply have to call and make an appointment. Lack of insurance or being underinsured will not prohibit you from obtaining an annual screening mammogram. Due to grants and generous donations, you may be able to obtain a free breast cancer mammogram screening. You simply have to go to the website freemammograms.com, again, freemammograms.com, and there you will be able to identify your state and a local city where you will be able to obtain a free breast cancer mammogram screening.
Now I am actually just trying to give back some way, somehow, to the community, or the breast cancer, community, and women that are going through the same thing. Just one thing I want to say is that early detection is key. For me, I ended up finding my own lump through self-examination, and a lot of people maybe see it or feel it, and they're like, oh, it might be nothing, and just stop there and not follow it through. So I think that is what saved me. The fact that I was so thorough, once I found it, I'm like, okay, this is not feeling right. I went to my doctor. My doctor was like, yes, that doesn't look right, mammogram. And from the mammogram, it just went through the biopsy and everything else that I had to go through. But now it's a great feeling just to, just to be where I am. I'm thriving. I am very happy. My family is very supportive still to everything that I do related to breast cancer. And, I try to give back some way, somehow, either through my church events. I do the breast cancer walk in New York City. And this year I did it actually here in New Jersey. And, we have a team, and it's always great to have the team, come around and see them and catch up.
So I just feel like it's, after you go through something like that, there's got to be something that you have to do in order to bring light into other people's lives that might be going through the same.
So as I leave you today, I want you to remember 3 things. 1, know your risk. 2, perform a self-breast exam each month. And 3, get a breast cancer mammogram screening as soon as you reach the recommended age.